Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Feeling a little bit more like summertime today. We've got those chance of afternoon showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. But generally speaking, less rainfall coverage than we've seen over the last couple of days, and consequently warmer temperatures. Up near 88 for a daytime high this afternoon, and I think it's going to have a real muggy feel to the air when we top out that 40% chance of showers. Actually, the showers this afternoon might be a welcome relief to break some of the heat. As we head into the evening, our rain chances will go down pretty quickly, and you wake up tomorrow morning with maybe a 20% chance of a lingering shower or two. Right now, everything's very quiet on radar. Haven't seen that in a while. So let's talk about this system. It's still down in the Caribbean. It has not formed anything that approaches a depression yet, but it has seen an explosion of convection and thunderstorm activity down there. The center of the circulation is still pretty far removed from the thunderstorm activity, and we need to see that get a little bit commingled before we start to see any kind of development with this system. The center of circulation is actually pretty close to the Yucatan, so that's obviously inhibiting some of its development as well. And the whole thing has to lift north, kind of skirting the Yucatan, so that could be a problem for it as it lifts out into the open waters of the Gulf. The Hurricane Center, as of this morning at 8 o'clock, gives it a 60% chance of developing over 5 days. And I don't really think that that will start to happen till we get to the end of that 5-day period, day 4, day 5, up to around maybe Saturday or Sunday. We might see some slow strengthening, but it's going to be very slow. So what do we expect? Well, the computer model forecasts continue to lift the system north into the central Gulf and then eventually to the eastern Gulf or to the central Gulf. One thing of note is some of the computer models have kind of shifted, I think, a little bit further to the east. We still have some that are forecasting eventual Florida landfall in the southern tip of the state. You see this one line that takes it right over Sarasota. Don't be too concerned about that one. It's a statistical model, which is based on climatology of the past and less actually on what's actually going on in the atmosphere right now. This is the American model, which again shows it kind of skirting South Florida and then moving up toward the Carolinas. And then the cluster of storms computer models that you see right here, this cluster, is all the rest of the models, which tend to be pretty aggressive in supporting anywhere from the panhandle of Florida back toward Louisiana Delta forecast. Now, here are the rainfall forecasts based on each of those models. The one that hits South Florida, we might get a little bit more wind, we might get a little higher surf, but we get less rainfall, coming in at 1 to 2 inches over a 3-day period, while South Florida really gets a lot of rain. Eventually, the system moves into the Atlantic and curves back toward the Carolinas, where they get rainfall. That's a computer model that I have less confidence in. The one I have more confidence in is the American computer model, which tends to show the rainfall. If I could advance the computer, there we go, showing the showers heavier along our coastline, coming in with maybe 4-inch rainfalls over a 3-day period. We could still handle that. But the heaviest of the rain occurring in the northern Gulf Coast into Georgia and Alabama, where they could actually see some flooding because their soil types just don't handle that kind of rainfall as well as Florida soil types do. So we are still kind of evaluating this, and with time, as soon as we see a system actually form, then we can have some better computer model guidance into where we think it'll eventually go. Southeast winds shifting to southwest, light chop, 2-foot seas. Decent day for boating out there, but watch those boating forecasts over the weekend. Here you go, 40% chance today, 60% tomorrow, maybe some heavier rain around as we head into the weekend. We'll be watching the tropics carefully on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, we'll call them first alert weather days for the potential of those heavy rains, which could lead to ponding of water on roadways, some low-lying flooding, perhaps if we get the heavier rains, and that could carry on into Monday and into Tuesday.